Get ready, crypto fans. The market is moving faster than ever, and you need to know what's happening right now. Bitcoin Bulletin is your direct line to the pulse of digital finance, bringing you the absolute essential updates that could shape your portfolio. We're diving deep into the stories that matter, the trends that are exploding, and the innovations that are redefining the future. Buckle up, because this is not just news. This is your edge in the fast-paced world of crypto. Today, we're breaking down why the original digital asset is still the king. Then, we're shifting gears to explore how one nation is making bold moves to protect its digital assets from futuristic threats. Is this a sign of things to come, or a preemptive strike against the unknown? You'll want to hear the details on this. Next up, with the original digital asset taking a breather, where is the smart money flowing? We're uncovering the investor pivot towards alternative cryptocurrencies and what this could mean for your portfolio. And finally, we've got a major player's treasury strategy that's making waves and setting a precedent for capital markets in the year ahead. You don't want to miss a single second of this. Stick around, because you're about to get the intel you need to stay ahead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. The undisputed champion, Bitcoin's unwavering dominance. Bitcoin continues to reign supreme in the cryptocurrency world, defying volatility, regulatory hurdles, and environmental debates. Launched in 2009, it has navigated multiple market cycles, solidifying its position as the leading digital asset by market capitalization. Despite skepticism, its resilience and ongoing adoption tell a different story, one of a functional financial asset far from obsolete. Its history is marked by dramatic price swings, a characteristic proponents attribute to any nascent asset class, often preceding significant long-term growth. Remember the nearly $20,000 peak in 2017? It was followed by a correction, yet Bitcoin has consistently shown a pattern of recovery, with each bull market reaching new highs. This endurance is further cemented by mainstream adoption. Giants like PayPal and Tesla have integrated Bitcoin into their operations, while El Salvador has made it legal tender, lending it undeniable legitimacy. Institutional investors, too, are piling in. Companies like MicroStrategy and Square have made substantial Bitcoin acquisitions, signaling confidence in its long-term potential as an inflation hedge. On the technological front, upgrades like SegWit and the Lightning Network are enhancing scalability and transaction speeds, addressing key limitations. Even the environmental concerns are being tackled, with many mining operations shifting towards renewable energy sources. The upcoming halving event is also poised to influence supply dynamics and potentially drive prices higher. While regulatory challenges and environmental impacts remain points of discussion, Bitcoin's adaptability, coupled with growing adoption and technological innovation, underscores its enduring relevance in the evolving financial landscape. But what happens when the king needs a moment to strategize? We're about to find out where the capital is flowing next. Fortress Bitcoin, El Salvador's quantum leap in security. El Salvador has made a significant move to safeguard its substantial Bitcoin holdings, transferring 6,274 BTC, valued at $678 million, into 14 new wallet addresses. This strategic maneuver is a direct response to the looming threat of quantum computing, which could potentially compromise the elliptic curve cryptography, ECC, keys securing Bitcoin transactions. The nation's Bitcoin office announced this proactive measure via X, distributing the funds across multiple addresses, each holding a maximum of 500 BTC. The underlying concern is that once Bitcoin is spent from an address, its public keys become vulnerable to decryption by sufficiently advanced quantum computers. Project 11, a quantum research firm, previously flagged that over 6 million Bitcoin, approximately $650 billion, could be at risk from such capabilities. However, they also noted that current quantum technology is nowhere near capable of cracking Bitcoin's 256-bit private keys, as no quantum computer has successfully broken even a 3-bit key using Shor's algorithm. Michael Saylor, a prominent Bitcoin advocate and MicroStrategy's CEO, has largely dismissed these quantum threats as overblown, anticipating that protocol developers and hardware manufacturers will preemptively address any vulnerabilities through network upgrades. This move by El Salvador comes at a time of scrutiny from the International Monetary Fund, IMF. The IMF reported in July that El Salvador had not made new Bitcoin purchases since February, and their $1.4 billion funding deal, secured in December 2024, was reportedly contingent on the nation scaling back its Bitcoin initiatives, a point of contention that is still under dispute. This security-focused transfer highlights a nation's commitment to protecting its digital assets against future technological advancements, even as it navigates complex relationships with international financial institutions. Now, as the market buzzes about these strategic moves, where are investors looking when the dominant force takes a breather? Altcoin ascendancy, the shift in investor focus. As Bitcoin navigates its recent price correction, a noticeable shift is occurring in the cryptocurrency market. Investor attention is increasingly gravitating towards altcoins. This pivot suggests a potential waning of Bitcoin's market dominance, with analysts predicting a surge in capital inflows into alternative cryptocurrencies. Historically, periods of Bitcoin correction have often been followed by significant upticks in altcoin activity, a pattern that many expect to repeat. This trend is further supported by broader market data, including a report from Architect Partners that highlighted increased M&A activity across the blockchain, DeFi, and fintech sectors in 2023. Such strategic consolidations signal a maturing market where investors actively seek diversification and undervalued opportunities beyond the leading cryptocurrency. The convergence of traditional finance and crypto, exemplified by MasterCard's integration of stablecoins into its payment network, also plays a role. While not directly tied to altcoins, this development points towards greater institutional adoption and infrastructure improvements that could benefit a wider array of digital assets. The recent surge in AI-related M&A activity in the tech sector further suggests a broader appetite for innovation and investment in alternative technologies, which could spill over into the crypto space. However, caution remains paramount. The crypto market is inherently volatile, and Bitcoin's downturn doesn't automatically guarantee a proportional rise in altcoin prices. Investors must closely monitor trading volumes, on-chain data, and the strategic partnerships forming within the altcoin ecosystem. Factors like regulatory changes, technological advancements, and macroeconomic conditions continue to influence market dynamics. Despite these risks, the current environment presents a compelling case for altcoins with strong fundamentals and unique value propositions, as investors seek to capitalize on potential growth opportunities in a diversifying digital asset landscape. But what about the big players? How are they positioning themselves for the future of digital assets? MicroStrategy's bold bet, shaping crypto capital markets in 2025. MicroStrategy's aggressive Bitcoin treasury strategy continues to make significant waves, positioning the company as a bellwether for risk-on capital markets in 2025. By allocating substantial corporate funds to Bitcoin, MicroStrategy is not only hedging against inflation, but also signaling a broader trend of institutional adoption of digital assets. This strategy has consistently driven demand for Bitcoin, influencing market sentiment and attracting other corporations to consider similar treasury management approaches. The company's ongoing accumulation of Bitcoin, often financed through debt or equity offerings, demonstrates a deep conviction in the long-term value appreciation of the cryptocurrency. This approach has implications for how capital flows within the broader crypto ecosystem, potentially increasing liquidity and stability for digital assets. As other companies observe MicroStrategy's performance and its impact on shareholder value, the precedent set could encourage a wider acceptance of Bitcoin as a reserve asset. This could lead to increased institutional investment in the crypto space, fostering greater maturity and integration with traditional financial markets. The implications extend beyond just Bitcoin. A successful execution of such strategies could pave the way for other digital assets to be recognized and utilized by corporations. However, this strategy also carries inherent risks, including exposure to Bitcoin's notorious volatility and potential regulatory challenges. Investors and analysts are closely watching how MicroStrategy navigates these complexities, as its success or failure could significantly influence corporate treasury strategies and capital allocation in the crypto markets for years to come. The company's consistent messaging and proactive engagement with the market have solidified its position as a leading proponent of Bitcoin adoption, making its treasury strategy a critical case study for the future of corporate finance in the digital age. And that brings us to the end of today's essential updates, but don't go anywhere yet. That was a rapid-fire rundown of the biggest stories. Bitcoin's still the undisputed leader. El Salvador is fortifying its digital assets against future threats. Altcoins are seeing a surge as investor focus shifts, and MicroStrategy's treasury strategy is setting the pace for 2025. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that like button, subscribe to Bitcoin Bulletin for all your essential crypto news, and ring that notification bell so you're always in the loop. Follow us on social media for even more insights and join the conversation. We'll see you in the next one.